You ready to get wild and unconventional? Stick around. Hey there, Enterprisers. What's good? It's Jason Ligo here again with Always Enterprise. And in this video, I want to share with you some wildly unconventional productivity hacks. That's right. This is kind of a wild and crazy approach to becoming more productive. Everyone seeks to be more productive, but it seems like the more traditional methods of doing so have kind of been exhausted and played to death over the course of time. And so what I've done today is actually researched and put together 4 very unique ways, very interesting and cool ways at that can help you get into the productivity groove. Maybe you've not considered one of these secrets before. They're going to be pretty simple, very practical, but again, they're a little bit off the beaten path. So I hope that you have fun with it, and most of all, I hope you get value from it. If this is your first time sitting under my voice, let me encourage you to come back and don't miss out on any more hot new content. So make sure you hit the subscribe button and give me a like, a comment, a share. Go ahead and enjoy the content. I put it together just for you. Number 1, write a don't do list. Write a don't do list. That's right. The traditional way of doing things is putting together a list of to-do items, basically things that you have to do during the course of your day, things that you have to get done. And if you've been on my channel at all, you've known that I've done videos at length about this. I'm a big believer in putting together lists and writing daily tasks out in order to tackle your day and approach your day. It's a good way to stay organized and a good way to attack your day. However, writing a don't do list, I think, is actually pretty brilliant. And all this is really just clarifying some of the things that would distract you from your ultimate goal, or from the most important things that would be on your to-do list, and putting them on your don't-do list so that it's clearly in print and basically a reminder for you of the things that you should not do or come anywhere close to. It's actually a really, really brilliant technique. And interestingly enough, there's a lot of high-profile people who employ this very technique. The main one of which, of course, is one of the most famous names in all of entrepreneurship and all of investing. Everyone knows the name of this gentleman. It's none other than the great Warren Buffett. And if it's good enough for him, it's good enough for me. He actually has gone on record saying that this one exercise, he believes, is what separates the extraordinary successful people from the average people. Again, if it's good enough for the great Warren Buffett, it's good enough for me. So try that out. Write a don't do list, things that you know will just distract you, things that you know will bog you down, things that you know will discourage you, and stay away from them. Write a don't do list. Number 2, use the Pomodoro Technique. All right, use the Pomodoro Technique, also known as the tomato timer method. And all this is a very interesting and cool systematic way of approaching, tackling certain tasks by using the clock and working with the clock rather than against the clock. So you can Google the different strategies behind it and the actual durations of times that are included within it that spell it out. But basically, it's a great way to approach certain things because it employs a lot of different elements into one method of attacking your day and your tasks, okay? And what those things are shorter work bursts. So think sprints instead of marathons. Also interval time breaks, basically 5 minutes after your work session. I think it's about 25 minutes of work and then 5 minutes of rest. You do that for 3 or 4 intervals. And then the last interval after your 25-minute bursts of work, you take a 15-minute break, right? And it's a good way, again, just to stay steady, just to stay consistent, but also it allows for a mental reprieve in the short amount of time that you take for that break. You get to step away, reset your mind mentally, and then back at it again. It's a great, just an amazing way to go ahead and tackle some things done. It's put together by a time expert, and it's a great technique that a lot of people use, even to this day, to be productive. So look it up, try it out, the Pomodoro Technique. Number 3, this is gonna slay you, so make sure that you brace yourself. And yes, you are gonna hear me right. Number 3 is eat the frog. Eat the frog. That's right, you heard me right, eat the frog. Now, I'm not telling you to go to the local pet store and buy a big bullfrog and swallow it. What an image that is, right? Definitely not gonna help you in your productivity. What I am referring to is what Mark Twain, of course, the legendary literary writer, referred to when he said that if you eat a live frog first thing in the morning, anything that happens to you for the rest of the day is not going to be worse than that, right? Essentially, that's basically what he was saying. And so what we're referring to in this case is identifying and doing the thing that you dread the most. Everyone's got something that they know that they have to do. They understand its importance, but it's also the thing that they dread the most. It's something that maybe they just don't enjoy. It could be, a certain campaign that you have to run in your marketing. It could be, just another item that you have to do in your daily workflow. And it's just something that annoys you, doesn't excite you, but you know it's important. important, okay? Rather than put that item as number 3, number 4, number 5, or number 10 on your list of things to do, make it number 1 or 2. Put it towards the top. And that way, when you take care of it, everything that follows thereafter is not going to be unpleasant. That's actually going to be very pleasant, very pleasurable, very exciting, again, because you got the worst thing out of the way first. The fact of the matter is, a very famous success author, Brian Tracy, put together a book called Eat the Frog, which was inspired, of course, by this very same methodology. So check it out, identify what your frog is, and eat it. Eat the frog. Number 4, mimic the millionaires. Mimic the millionaires. Kind of seems simple, right? Kind of seems like, you know, everyone knows that you're supposed to identify those who are successful and then copy them and duplicate them. Everyone thinks and knows that this is the thing that you should do, right? This doesn't seem like it's wildly unconventional. It doesn't seem like it's out of the ordinary. But listen to me, it's actually very, very awe-striking, in my opinion, when I read about it. Basically, mimic the millionaires is a point that I come up with to deliver and reflect on a study that I researched that was done, that took place over 5 years. A famous author, Thomas Corley, put together this study and observed 177 test subjects. They were all individuals and they were all self-made millionaires. And after observing them for 5 years, all of them, the biggest commonality that he found amongst all of them had nothing to do with their business, had nothing to do with their lawyer, had nothing to do with their investments, had nothing to do with certain habits that they had. It really came down to just one simple activity that they all did in this great majority. And what that item was very simple. It was a very simple discipline, and all it was they got up 3 hours before their workday. So this is something that anyone can do. Now, before you tell me that you can't wake up 3 hours before your scheduled work time, I want you to consider what you can do if you went ahead and exercised the discipline to actually take advantage and make it happen. 3 hours before your work time. What could you actually do and accomplish in that time frame? I would venture to say there's a lot of things that you can actually do, right? Think about it. You could get up early and you could work out, maybe get some endorphins running, maybe get yourself in a good state of mind and get some juices running through you so that your blood is pumping and you're happy. Maybe you could spend that time with extra personal development. Maybe you could get started on some new projects, or maybe you can do the one thing that everyone finds themselves doing and continues to hold them back from being productive, and that is finally get caught up on these things that you also are behind on, right? Maybe one of the biggest things, especially if you're in the internet marketing business or any business for that matter, is you can get caught up on the training and the watching videos and the learning that you know is always continuing to bog you down, whereas you should be taking action, but instead you're stuck in learning mode. This would be a great time to tackle that item, to get that done, to get it out of the way, and find yourself on the road to productivity. There you have it, my friends. Those are the 4 wildly unconventional productivity hacks that I have for you. Go ahead and drop me a comment below and let me know which one of these was the most beneficial to you, the most mind-boggling, and the most earth-shattering. Maybe one of these is surprising to you, or perhaps you're already familiar with these and already employing some. In any case, give me a like, a subscribe, and make sure you hit the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any more hot new content that I got coming down the pipe just for you. This is Jason Ligo with Always Enterprise. Take care. I'll see you next time, and keep on enterprising.